Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to another episode of Jim's 5am Club. What a beautiful spring Sydney morning. The sunrise over the water is just magical. And what I'd like to do this morning, like I do on most mornings, is go through another book and share it with my friends and family. And this book is entitled It Didn't Start With You, a book that was authored by a fellow named Mark Wolynn, and it's a book which looks at how inherited family trauma shapes who we are and how to end the cycle. This is another book that I'm going to add to the group of books that I've put together on parenting and child development, and it looks at some of the darker sides, some of the darker topics that need to be discussed in order to complete the series and make it as effective and as powerful as possible. And the author kicks off the book with a quote where he says that sleeping inside each of them were fragments of trauma too great to be resolved in one generation. And this book, whilst very, very sad, allows us to take a journey and to learn from other people, and hopefully none of us or none of our children get to experience the traumas of generations that have gone before us, that have been so great that they've been felt by future generations. So the author here talks about a topic which I must admit I haven't been aware of in the past, but now that I listen to it, it makes sense. And the concept of inherited family trauma is quite an ordeal, because what the author here says is that emotional and psychological trauma can be passed down through generations, affecting our behaviours, beliefs, and relationships with ourselves, with others, with our intergenerational families, our greater families, and with God. And we need to look at how we can end the cycle, how we can break the cycle so that this trauma sees no future days. And in order to do this, we need to understand the patterns of inherited trauma, because by understanding the recurring, ongoing patterns, we can break the cycle and heal ourselves. And by healing ourselves, we are also going to heal future generations and relieve them of the burden of this inherited family style of trauma. So in order to heal this, in order to fix it, we need to be aware of it. And the author talks about the power of awareness. And through recognition of the impact of inherited trauma is the first step towards healing. So you first need to identify and understand what it is. And once you've identified it and seen it in action, then through that awareness, you are allowed then to try and solve it and fix it. because awareness allows us to challenge our limiting beliefs and the ensuing behaviours that come from those limiting beliefs. And a key message that comes from this book and a recurring theme is the importance of self-compassion. Be gentle with yourself as you navigate the complexities of inherited trauma, because self-compassion is essential for healing and growth. We need to look after ourselves. We need to understand that this trauma is something which is real, which is big, and can be limiting not only to us, but to our children, our grandchildren, and wherever the ripple effect touches over the years. And the last key point that comes from this book is the role of therapy. You can't do it alone. You need professional help, and that professional help needs to support you over a number of years, because it's not something that can come and go. This help needs to be with you for as long as it takes so that you can get healed. And the author here reminds us that therapy can be a powerful tool for understanding and processing inherited trauma. And through skilled therapy with skilled therapists can help provide guidance, support, and practical tools for healing. So once again, it's important to understand that we've all lived a different past. We're all living a different present. I am here, you're somewhere else. And even if you were here, even if you were joined at my hip, you're going to experience a different presence. I could be looking at the sun, you could be looking somewhere else. At the end of the day, we're all obsessed with different things, depending on what makes us tick and what our past has been and what our experiences have been, and the weighting and the meaning that we've put on all of those past experiences. And we're all going to live, without a doubt, a completely different future. And the important thing to understand is that all of the experiences that we've had along the way are shaping our worldview in a positive and a productive way, but also in a negative and a destructive way as well, depending on what those experiences are and depending on the weighting that we've put on those experiences. And those experiences that we have and the meaning that we have placed upon them are either inherited from other people, from our schoolmates, from the environments that we've lived in, by the media, wherever our focus has been, or their experiences that we've actually generated and meaning that we've actually placed on it based on our own experience. So it's not necessarily inherited, it's something that is lived and what is real. And we get an opportunity to relive and to challenge those things depending on whether or not they're serving us or holding us back. And we've got to understand that the burdens that we have and the meaning that we have placed on things are going to impact us in our lives. They're going to impact the decisions we have and make, but they're also going to impact other people around us. So we need to free ourselves of things that are going to limit us and are going to weigh us down.